Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are continuing our Polly Pocket pop culture series, and today's Polly Pocket, I am going to be transforming her into Coraline this month. So I've already removed the makeup with 100% acetone. So with this, I removed all the face. I'm going to be dyeing her hair with blue Rite Aid synthetic sapphire blue. And also, I thrifted this box a couple years ago, and it has like a key. And the first time I saw this, it made me think of Coraline. So it's removed because I'm going to be putting a background in here. And so it had a screw in there, and I just unscrewed it. The cool thing, it has where I can hang this up afterwards. So for the background, I've already prepped this background, which is a portal to the other. If you've seen the movie Coraline, there's a portal that Coraline goes through to the other mother's house. So I've already pre-cut. I've added gloss and Mod Podge to it. So I have all the parts that I'm going to be gluing inside. So it looks like, the background for the portal to the other side. I also am going to be making the black cat from Coraline. So I'm using this cat, and I've made some alterations to this cat. His tail was actually facing the other direction, so I cut it and trimmed off axis and turned it the other way. And then I've also filled in the face and eyes with wood glue so that I can have a flat surface to do the face, the eyes from the cat. I also have shoes here for her that I'll put on her feet, but then I'm going to be going over this to make her yellow rain boots. Because in the movie, Coraline has not quite a few, but has quite a few different outfits, but I'm going with the one with the raincoat, her blue jeans, and her rain boots, of course, and her striped long sleeve shirt. So I'll be painting those. This is the yellow fabric that I have prepped, that I've painted yellow. And I have templates that I've used. Like this was originally used for making a dress, but it's going to work for making her raincoat. And then I have the sleeves to go on. So I just wanted to go over everything I have prepped. And also the other thing too, because this Polly Pocket has, a bra and underwear already, I had to do a thin layer of wood glue. Wood glue is very good at creating a smooth surface on the front and back, because I'm going to be painting on her jeans and painting on her sweater. And then her coat will actually have will be fabric. I just felt that would be easier because I'm still learning to make little patterns for them, and it's not the easiest. So maybe sometime when I get better, I can make little pants and a little long sleeve shirt to actually fit. But that's where I'm at right now. I do have the colors I'll be using. I have ultra deep blue for her jeans paint that I'm using. The orange. This is a jack-o'-lantern orange for her long sleeve shirt. And I'm probably going to use this pink paint pen for the stripes initially, and then I'll probably go over it with a dark magenta because I think the pink is a darker purple. So anyway, first things first is dyeing her hair, and I will be back right after. Okay. Okay, so I'm back. I was hoping to be able to show me coloring her hair. However, the dye that I picked was too dark. I thought it was going to be more this color that I have going on. And so what I did is I've done this before on one other doll. It's not my favorite method, but I am able to color the doll's hair this way. So what I end up doing is taking two blues, electric blue and a deep ultra blue, and I mix those two together in a container. And then I put fabric medium in it and mixed it all together. And then I brushed it. I just used a regular brush to brush it in her hair and then comb through it. And this is a comb I only use for my dolls. Um, so I'm letting that set. I'm going to let that dry and set. I do see where a little bit of the dye came over, so I'll have to do some touch-ups or maybe use the acetone to see if I can remove that if possible. Um, the other thing that happened is the layer of, which I didn't think about it, when I was dyeing her hair, the heat melted the glue off, so I'm going to have to repaint up here on top so that there's a smooth surface because there's like kind of a couple like bumps in the area here that I want to be smooth once I paint on her shirt. So this is the color I was hoping to go for. When you're dyeing with any kind of Rite Aid dye, it's sometimes it's going to be hit or miss. So I'm going to let this dry completely and then go from there, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back to work on other parts of the project. So I still have the cat that I need to paint, um, the background to put into this shadow box. So I'm going to go ahead and get my black paint out. Just going to get my paint palette, which is here. And get my brush here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and paint in the black, this cat black. Hopefully I will get the essence of this cat, because obviously the cat in Coraline is a lot skinnier than this guy. Um, but I'm okay with that. It's not going to be an exact. The only way it would be an exact is, to make it completely from scratch, which would be very cool to do. I just like to try to use the my stash, when I have things, if I can modify them to fit possibly into a scene, I like doing that. Okay, so let me put this down so I can get his tail. I need a and I will do a second coat on this. I usually do two coats, and let's just kind of flip that over. And let's see where we're at. I let that guy dry. And then we will go ahead and glue in the background that I have for this. So I pre-measured everything and pre-cut, and I made sure to give it a gloss coat before I glue it in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that in right now. And I'm just using tacky glue. I have seen the movie Coraline, I don't know how many times, but I really love claymation, stop motion. It's like such a cool art form and craft, artistic form. Like, I know it takes a really long time to make those kind of movies, but man, when they're complete, it's so amazing, and it just holds up, over time because of the commitment and the patience that are put into that style and that way of creating. Um, I can remember my first claymation movie I really liked was the California Raisins. I don't know if anybody, the Christmas special, um, they had like a compilation of different Halloween, not Halloween, whoa, I guess I got Halloween on the brain. But a compilation of Christmas um, stories, and the host was two dinosaurs, a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a T Rex, and they were presenting these different Christmas stories, and one of them was the California Raisins singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I don't know, that was my first introduction into that. Or, also the Christmas specials like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus's, um, Frosty the Snowman, like that style, that stop motion, just always fascinate me. So, and I'm just making sure I'm getting it all down in there. Might have to do some touch-ups. I'm hoping not, because the whole point of doing it before is not to get glue, but it looks like because of the coating, because I did one of the things like I did for this, because I printed this on a printer and inkjet the ink can run, is I put Fabri-Tac. I spray paint Fabri-Tac, and then I used matte Mod Podge, which is this right here, matte Mod Podge, and then I did diamond glaze to give it a very shiny look. I don't know if I'm going to keep the shiny look. I don't know. I just like how it looks and how it protects it, but it's not shiny in the movie, but I don't know, it just gives it some life here. So I'm just going to keep on. Hello. So we are back. I'm back to show you where we're at right now. So I have her hair is all dry. I did put a little bit of conditioner throughout and comb it through to keep it, soft, because using the fabric paint, can make the hair kind of funky. But this is the best way I could approach coloring her hair. Um, it's definitely easier if you're using a natural, like dyeing a doll's hair for a natural hair color like brown or black or something like that, but color is dicey. So her hair is of the right height. I've trimmed it. The cat has been painted all black, so I can go ahead and paint his eyes. I also made the hair clip here. And what I did here is I printed up a dragonfly, and then I used a piece of clear plastic, recyclable, and I traced over this dragonfly with puffy paint. So I used a bronze puffy paint and a blue puffy paint. And then I went in to make the little pink dots where I put the bronze with a toothpick. And then when I let it dry completely, I put some diamond glaze to make it shiny. So that's going to be her hair clip that goes in her hair right here. And I'll be cutting that out when I do that. I also have her jacket ready to be cut out. So this is the front and back of the jacket, and then the sleeves. And for the shadow box that I got, I put the key back in, as you can see. And I lined the inside of it with black puffy paint, so that's dry. So now I'm going to go ahead and start painting her clothes on. So the bottom are like jeans, so I'm going to do it this color. I'm just going to get my paint out. And just get my brush here. Start painting. Over. And then I want to work on the cat's eyes. So I just need to pull up a pic. Okay, so there's a good picture of the cat. He's got these big teal eyes, and then he's got his little button nose that seems like a very muted back pink nose. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch in his eyes. You're not going to be able to see this because this is like on a black cat. So I'm just trying to fill in the eyes as much as or replicate the eyes as best as I can. And so because I have a turquoise green and then this electric blue. I think I'm going to mix to make this blue teal color. And for the nose, I have a paint. This one is a light pink. So I'm continuing with the eyes. The detail brush. So I got a small detail brush. And I'm going to mix these two together. me see if it's working. I'm gonna add a bit of this blue that I've been using for her pants. I think that's closer. Okay. All right. So I think I'm happy with that. And I'll use my detail brush to fill in his eyes. Okay, so I'm going to let that set for his eyes to dry. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out her rain jacket. Okay, and I have her two sleeves here. That I'm going to put on the inside of this jacket. I'm definitely probably going to have to do some altering on the sleeves, but I have a base. Yeah, so I'm happy with this. I have my extra here in case. And so what I'm going to do moving forward now is to do a second coat on her pants. I'm going to use, let me go ahead for the cat's nose and just put a little of the pink. So I got a little bit of pink here. And from the reference, it's so tiny, his nose. As you can see, you don't see it very much. So and so I'm just putting it on there. So right now I have it way too big, but I'm going to clean it up with black paint or my my black acrylic paint. Just to clean it up. I'm going to let it dry and then clean it up some more, but I'm going to leave it right here. So I'm going to let everything dry and then do several coats, and then I will be back. All right, so we're continuing forward, and I wanted to show you that I put the black irises on the cat. Hopefully you can see that with his nose. It's hard to get to focus, but yeah. And then I got her jacket, and I did paint her top, and on further inspection, the base of it is actually a peach color, and then the stripes are like a really dark orange, almost red stripes. So that's what I did. I painted it on her front and her arms, even though you're not going to see it. And I did add a hood after the fact because I realized I didn't have a hood. So I found a pattern online of just the hood and modified it and then attached it. So that's what her raincoat is looking like. And then I put the shoes on, and now I'm going to go ahead and use Air Model Magic to make her rain boots. Hello, I'm back. So I wanted to show because we're going to work on the face. So this is the face. I painted her boots yellow. And actually, what I did, I took this yellow, put it inside a plastic container, and then I dipped her boots in to get a nice, really thick coat and let it drip off on both sides because I really wanted it to have a really nice bulky look to them. And then I added, when it was all dry, which took a while, a lot of dry time, I added Mod Podge, the gloss. And I also added it to her raincoat just to give it a little bit of shine. So now we're going to finish off with the face. And there's a lot of different expressions for Coraline. She has looks that where she looks mischievous, she looks a little scared, she looks curious, she just a lot of different looks. So I really liked this facial expression. So I'm going to be trying to do this expression as close as I can. Because I'm doing this on a way smaller surface and a Polly Pocket doll, it's not going to look exactly. This is more looking more of an inspired look of Coraline. Um, but this is the box in which we got the black cat, and Coraline is going to go right inside here, just like that. And I'm going to glue them in. So it's going to look like that. So I am pretty happy where we're at with her face. Like I said, I might do some more, be more fussy, but I'm going to go ahead and put it all together and show you the end result. Thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye.